This is page 94 of your math journal. This is going to be area of triangles. Okay, I want you to write a question. How is a triangle related to a parallelogram? Alright, let's draw a parallelogram so we can kind of compare here. So if I draw this parallelogram, how can I turn that into a triangle? I could cut it this way. I could cut it this way. If I cut it anywhere else, I'm going to have 4 sides. So a triangle has 3 sides and a parallelogram has 4. Well, if I chop it right here to make a triangle, see how I have 2 triangles that are exactly the same size? Well, if that's the case, a triangle is exactly half of a parallelogram. So now let's think about how to find the area of a triangle. So if the area of a parallelogram is base times height. So this is for a parallelogram. What would it be for a triangle? A triangle is exactly half of a parallelogram. So if a parallelogram is found by doing base times height, a triangle area is going to be base times height and then divided by 2 to get half. Or another way of looking at that would be 1/2 times base times height. Well, if it's that simple, let's look at some triangles. So draw a triangle like this. Okay, we're going to put some measurements on here. This is going to be 4 inches. This is going to be 4.5 inches. And this is going to be 5 inches. And this right here is going to be 3.5 inches. Alright, looking at that, if I need the base and the height, I'm looking for the 2 that form a right angle. In this case, it's 5 and 3.5. So this would only be useful for a perimeter. We're only going to worry about these 2 for the area. So the area of this triangle would be 5 times 3.5 divided by 2. So I'm going to do 3.5 times 5 first. 5 times 5 is 25. Regroup 2. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. 1 place behind the decimal. 17.5, that's the base times the height. But now I need to do 17.5 divided by 2. 17.5 divided by 2. Two goes into 17, 8 times 2 is 16, minus 16 gives me 1, bring down the 5, decimal point, 2 goes into 15, 7 times, minus 14, leaves me with 1, annex is 0, 2 goes into 10, 5 times, minus 10, 0, alright, so my final area is 8.75 inches squared. Now if I was looking for the perimeter, I would have added all 3 of those sides together. But for this, we're just going to worry about area. Okay, let's draw another triangle. I kind of used up some space, so I'm going to put my next triangle over here. Okay, this is going to be 4 feet, 3 feet. This is going to be a right angle right there, and 5 feet. So looking at that, I'm looking for the 2 that form a right angle. Sometimes the sides are them, other times it's not. But as long as it forms a right angle, it is your base and your height. This one's going to be a little bit easier. Area equals base times height, divide by 2. So we have 4 times 3, divide by 2. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 divide by 2 is 6. So this would be 6 feet squared. Okay, we're going to do one more. Okay, this is going to be 2.5 meters. This is going to be 3 meters. 2 3/4 meters. And 4 meters. Okay, if we're finding the area, it's base times height, divide by 2, or 1/2 times by 1/2. Pick out the right information. You're only interested in the 2 that form a right angle for the area. So I'm going to do 3 times 2.5 divide by 2. So 3 times 2.5, well, I'm going to turn that into an improper fraction. This would be 5/2 times 3/1. Okay, watch what I'm doing. Dividing by 2 is the same as keeping, well, let's do this first. Here, I can't cross cancel anything, so I'm going to end up with 15/2. Now I'm dividing that by 2, so I'm going to keep the first. I'm going to flip the second. Change the sign. Well, that's the same as timesing by 1/2, right? Multiply across the top, I get 15 on top. Across the bottom, I get 4. 4 goes into 15 3 times. That would be 12. That would leave me with 3/4 left over. So it would be 3/4 meters squared. Okay, that's all.